Hi everybody! I want to talk to you today about doing a dream journal and the ways that a dream journal can really help you to remember your dreams, be more powerful in your magic, to awaken your subconscious mind. I've got a special bonus for you at the end of the video to help you with your dream journaling. And I'm going to show you a quick time lapse on how I make my magical pens, great for writing in your grimoire, your book of shadows, and your dream journal. Stick around for that.
I'm Mickey Mueller. Welcome to my studio.
Hi everybody, I'm Mickey Mueller, author, illustrator, and witchy woman. I come to you once a week with spells, witchy tips, and tricks for living your magical life. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button so that you'll know when I post new videos. Right, let's get down to it. We want to talk today about dream journals. First of all, let's talk really quick about why we would want to journal them, why we would want to remember our dreams. So some of the best reasons that I can think of to work with a dream journal are as witches and magical practitioners of any kind. We really need to work with that subconscious. So a great way to do that is through dream work. If you keep a dream journal, that's a fantastic way to keep track of your dreams and what's going on inside your subconscious mind. And it really can help you to awaken that magical ability that you have to tap into subconscious. We're writing down all of the things that we can remember in our dreams. So this is a great way to look at our subconscious mind and analyze what's happening there. But when we're able to analyze our dreams and analyze what's happening in our subconscious, that allows us to be more tapped into ourselves, helps us with our shadow work, that deep work of figuring out why we are the way we are, how we tick, and how to better improve our lives in a lot of different ways. Another great purpose for dream journals is to keep track of dreams that you might be having that are prophetic. I've had some in my life, and I'm sure a lot of you have stories about dreams that you've had that ended up coming true in one way or another. In fact, drop me a comment if you have a story about a dream that you had that actually manifested in one way or another in the real world. I would love to hear about that. And I'll share one really quick with you. The times in which I was dream journaling, I had a lot more that I could remember than I could in the times when I wasn't dream journaling. And there were times when I kind of, I think, wanted to turn off that psychic ability. I didn't want those dreams to come anymore. And if you do that, it works generally, not for everybody, but for some people you can kind of shut that off. But I think that that's a mistake because we have so much to learn and so much to gain. Well, it's really beneficial as a magical practitioner or witch to keep a dream journal. Is that dream time problem solving that I've talked about in a previous video. My Akate dream spell, which I will post a card up above so that you can watch that later if you want. I'll also drop it into the description bar so that you can find that easily if you're interested in that. But sometimes our subconscious mind will work through problems while we're sleeping. And if we write it down when we first wake up, you will find a lot of solutions to the stuff that you've been dealing with every day in your dreams. So in being able to interpret that stuff and have it at your fingertips can be really useful. Every single time that you write down a dream in your dream journal, it tells your subconscious mind, dreams are important to me. And it will help you, believe it or not, this really works. Every time you write it down, it reinforces that in your subconscious mind. Therefore, it will help you to remember your dreams better. It really works. And I hadn't been dream journaling in a while. And as you remember, there was another video that I did, which again, I'll put it up here so that you guys can see it if you're interested, about these cool journals that my friend Tanya found. And she brought some over to me, and it inspired me to start dream journaling again and throwing pens on the floor as well, because that's what I do. Okay. So anyway, I had decided that maybe I should start dream journaling again. And then I mentioned it in the video, and a lot of you guys were like, yeah, do a video about dream journaling. I was hearing from you guys in the comments below, which I read all the comments. So I started dream journaling again because of you guys. And that was when I realized that, yeah, it makes a big difference. And this is a really great practice that I want you guys to have the opportunity to get into too. So I'm just going to tell you kind of how I do it. Everybody does it differently, and that is totally okay because every person is different and every person's practice is different. All I'm here to tell you is the way that I do it, and if you figure out a way that works better for you, definitely do it that way, especially when you're talking about something like a dream journal because it's super personal. So what the hell are dreams anyway, right? There's several different kinds of dreams that we have, okay? One of the most common dreams is what I like to call brain defragging dreams. And basically what that means is your brain is like a biological computer, okay? We get input all day long, and sometimes we get input that we don't have time to process because we go through our lives busy, busy, busy. We're multitasking all the time. Sometimes we're thinking about one thing while we're doing another, and our brain doesn't have a chance to catch up and to process all of those things. So when we go to sleep at night, our brain defrags and rearranges the input that we've received all day long and decides, does this go into short-term or long-term memory? Were we thinking something weird about this at the time and ignoring it? Let's look into that deeper. And so it kind of replays some things in your mind, what some dreams are. And usually you can recognize them fairly easily. The first entry that I did in my dream journal when I decided to revisit the practice, it was all about Mad Men because I had been binging Mad Men that day. And I didn't realize it at the time. When I first woke up and I started writing, I was like, that was a really deep dream. And then I realized as I was writing, I was like, it's all about Mad Men. I don't think it really applied to my life. I think it was brain defragging. So that's totally okay. But my brain was like, gosh, Mickey, all your input is this show. So let's just look into this, see if it applies. It doesn't. So we're going to just file it away. Fine. Another kind of dream that we have is your subconscious mind highlighting things that you might have missed during the day that's really important. And it's kind of part of the brain defragging process. But here's what happens. Say, for instance, you were having a conversation with someone during the day and you were like thinking they were all your friend and everything and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, and they were saying things that you were believing. And maybe you have a dream that night that that person was lying to you, or that they were being untrue, or that they were being shady. So what happens is your brain picks up on little things like micro expressions and things like that everybody does with their face that we can't necessarily stop doing. And sometimes those little micro expressions, our brain analyzes that and goes, hey, red flag here, you maybe want to pay attention to this. Your brain will send you a message to let you know, we noticed this. We thought this was weird. You need to pay attention. Sometimes they'll bring a witness to a crime in and they'll do hypnosis to help them return to the scene of the crime so that they can pick up more details about the crime. It's very similar to that. We do that. That's our own mind if there's nothing woo-woo about it. So that's another good reason to keep track of your dreams because it'll bring those things into focus and give you more insight into the things that are happening in your everyday life. Your subconscious mind also has the ability to tap into the collective unconscious. And what this means is that you're one drop in the ocean, but you also contain the whole ocean within you. In other words, you're part of humanity, and every person that's part of humanity, we're all connected by these silver threads that run through everything, and this is what makes magic, okay? So we're all connected in these ways because everything that one person does connects to another, to another, to another, to another. Kind of like the 9 degrees of Kevin Bacon in an everyday person way, all right? So we are all connected in a metaphysical way as well. And so what happens is when you're dreaming, sometimes if you're really tapped in to your subconscious and you're listening to your subconscious through dream journaling and letting your subconscious know dreams are important to me, sometimes your mind, your psychic self, will tap in to the collective unconscious and will pick up things that are happening that are beyond your normal ability to see things. It's not the same as your brain picking up things that it's seen, like we were talking about a minute ago, things that you've seen that you maybe weren't paying attention to. It's a deeper level of that, and that can happen. The more that you track these things in a dream journal, the easier it's going to be for you to discern which dreams are those kind of psychic dreams, which dreams are brain defragging, which dreams are your subconscious mind picking up stuff that you didn't notice throughout the day. Then you have something that you can go back to, you know, a week later when something happens and be like, oh my gosh, I had this dream and it really did happen. That also is reinforcing your brain to be like, yeah, if we tell her stuff, she's going to listen. So let's keep telling her stuff. And it really can give you the edge in life. How do you do a dream journal? Well, it's actually super simple. Basically, you keep your journal by your bed, all right? I'm going to also recommend you keep a pen with it. I have this little pen with a little clippy thing so that I can pop it right on there because I want to be able to grab it easily when I first wake up. All right. The key to doing a dream journal is you have to keep it by your bed. It's so simple. Just keep it by your bed, because here's what happens. The minute that you wake up, the minute that you start moving around, all right, when your feet hit the floor and you start making coffee, or you're doing your things, or you're brushing your teeth, those dreams will they'll dissipate like mist on the wind, and you will lose them. Sometimes you'll lose them completely. Sometimes you'll have a couple details. You'll be like, oh, I don't know. There was a dream. I remember seeing a candle burning, and there was, a lion trying to get in the window. And other than that, I don't remember the rest of the dream, right? And that can be somewhat helpful. But the most helpful thing is if you remember to write it down before you get up, because then you get the most amount of details and you could go back through and analyze that later on. All right, so here's step by step what I do. First of all, before I go to sleep, I look at my dream journal and and this might sound hokey, but it works. And I say to myself, I want to remember my dreams when I wake up so that I can write them down. I intend to write my dreams down in my dream journal. This really helps to set an intention right before you go to sleep, okay? And this is how I do it, and it might work for you guys too. And then you go to sleep, okay? If you wake up in the middle of the night like I do, I usually will have a dream that I remember in the middle of the night. I'll grab my journal and just jot as much as I can remember down. What I've been doing in this one is I'm literally putting the date at the top and just write it all out. Now, the date I added later, okay? I did not add the date when I woke up in the middle of the night or when I woke up first thing in the morning, because honestly, don't waste the time going, what's the date? Just don't even waste the time doing that. Get right down to brass tacks and write your dream down. Every detail that you can remember. If there is a smell that you remember, if there are any details, people that you remember seeing, symbols, colors, animals, where you were. Were you in a house? Were you in a car? Different things. Were you flying? This is important. Write these things down. If you were having a lucid dream, just write it down. Oh, it was a lucid dream. And that is a dream where you're asleep and dreaming, but you know that you're dreaming. And you're like, ooh, I'm dreaming. This is cool. And you could do some really cool stuff. I'll do a lucid dreaming video later because it's a lot more to get into. I did write an article about dream magic for Llewellyn in one of the magical almanacs. I don't remember which one, but I'll grab that out and we'll do another dream video. If you guys are interested in the lucid dreaming video, learning how to dream and know that you're dreaming and be able to do things on purpose in your dreams. So let me know in the comments below if you want a lucid dream video, and I'll do that. Write down every detail that you can think of. That's all you have to do. And then if you need to get up and go use the restroom or make your coffee, that's fine. Do that. You can come back to your dream journal later after you've had your coffee, or maybe while you're sipping your coffee. Jot the date down so you don't forget, because I'll be honest, Man, nobody's perfect. I've got several entries in here where I did not write the date down. If you're artistic, or if you're not artistic, because this is only for you. This is, you're not really showing this to other people. So even if you're not artistic, but there's like a weird symbol that you had in a dream, or a person that looked a specific way, there was a person that had like a weird symbol on their forehead, or they had some horns that were very specific, or they were wearing a certain outfit, and you want to make a note of that, draw it on your page. Or, sometimes what I'll do is I'll write on this page and then I'll flip it over and draw whatever on the back page, which I don't have any like that because I haven't been, I literally just did like a little funnel picture for one of mine. So yeah, anything, and emotions are super important. Any emotion that you were feeling, jot that down too. Write all of that stuff down. And then you can come back to it after you're wide awake and do the interpretation. As far as interpreting your dreams goes, one of my favorite websites to interpret my dreams is I go to dreammoods.com. I'll put the link below so that you can find that easily if you want to bookmark it. And I can literally look at it on my phone while I'm drinking my tea in the morning, and it's no big deal. I don't always go with their interpretations because, first of all, as a witch, there's some things that you might find in a dream interpretation book or on the website that might not ring true to your interpretation of that thing. If you dream about a snake, it's maybe it's because somebody's trying to go behind your back and do bad things. But the truth is, as witches, that light is just not good. Okay. As witches, we also look at a snake as being a symbol of rebirth, right? So we can also apply our own symbolism to those things because it's our subconscious mind. Nobody can really tell you. There are some things that are kind of universal, but there's a lot of things that, one person might see as a bad thing and another person might see as a good thing. So we have to take those things into consideration when we're interpreting our dreams. Dream speaks to us in metaphor. And this is important to know. A dream it's not going to be like an open book where it gives you the answer. You have to search it out. And this is why dream interpretation is really important. And I'll just give you a couple of basics, okay? If you dream that you're in a house, that is literally what we call where you live. It's a term that people use all the time to talk about where we are in life, right? Where you live. It's basically you. The house is you. So, and again, this isn't always the case, but it's very oftentimes the case, So if you're dreaming about a house that's fallen down, you need to do some work on yourself. If you're dreaming about a house that you can't get out of, maybe you're too deep inside your head, If you're dreaming that you can't find your house, maybe you're feeling a little lost in life, right? I mean, when you start thinking about it in these terms, it's not super hard to interpret dreams. Water in dreams generally stands for emotions. So if you're drowning in a dream, you probably are overcome with emotions, too much for you to handle, and you feel like you're being weighed down by emotions. Maybe if somebody hands you a drink and you drink it, somebody is giving you their emotions and you're taking them in. If you're having a really happy dream that you're walking with someone you love and the rain's coming down around you like in a super romantic movie, then it probably speaks to loving emotions surrounding you. If you dream that you're turning on the faucet and no water is coming out, you've been blocking your emotions and you need to roto-rooter that shit, right? Okay, that makes sense, right? These are little basic things, Tornadoes generally in a dream are change, losing teeth in dreams, which is a super common dream. It means you feel like you're losing something, losing control. So anyway, those are just some little basics. I started to realize that my method that I was using of basically just like jotting everything down in a crazy haphazard kind of way might not be the best. And I decided that I wanted to try something a little different. So what I did was I created a dream journal template that I can make a fancy little book out of using a nice little notebook like this. I didn't get a chance to make a nice cover, but this is one of those that you can slide a pretty cover in. So I'm definitely going to do that. And if you guys decide to make dream journals too, from this template that I'm going to provide you guys with, feel free to post a picture of what you guys decide to decorate the outside like. Dreams are so personal if everybody just came up with their own. And I think it would be really fun for us to watch online and see what everybody comes up with. Anyway, here's what the page turned out like. And it's got lots of, it's kind of a more organized way for us to write down our thoughts and our things about the dreams. So I've got, you know, the date and the time that you woke up, if that's important to you. If it's not, leave it off. Before sleep influences, like for instance, boy, my light got weird in here. I'm shooting at night, which I never do, but I don't know. So before sleep influences are included on this sheet because, like for instance, before I went to bed, I binged Mad Men, and that was an influence on my dreams. So that should be important. You know, if you had a big argument with somebody, or if you've been, let's see, if you've been feeling a little off, or you've been sick, or you know, took some medicine, or you had some, maybe took some melatonin. Some people, I know some people have really weird dreams on melatonin. So, you know, any of those kind of things can factor in. So it's always a good idea to write your before sleep influences, because then it'll help you discern what was happening in the dream, whether it was like because I ate pizza at midnight or or whatever, you know. And then I've got a good section for dream description here and a good section for interpreting it down here. And there's a little spot for standout symbols, like for instance, the Queen of Hearts was like big in the dream or something, you know, or, you know, water was everywhere, things like that. Standout symbols that you want to write down. And at the bottom, I have a little section that's called checking back in. And that is so that you can revisit your dream journal later on. And, whew, gosh, look, I'm all, what? Jeez. Woo. Nope, that's too dark. Okay, that light's a little better. You guys would totally crack up if you saw my setup. I put a piece of paper up in front of the light I have over here. I don't know. Super professional. But yeah, that actually works better. That might be my new way of doing it, because sorry, I was all ghosty and weird. But anyway, yeah, I've got the checking back in section, and that is so that you can check back in with your dream journal and be, you know, if you had like a dream that you wrote about earlier in the week and then something happened that seemed like, wow, that was legit, actually did happen in real life, you know, I think that might have been a prophetic dream. You could write about it. Or if your dream suggests, you know, that you missed something that you thought was shady and then later on you found out that it was, you can write that down. It's just a nice way to go back and get confirmation that the hard work that you're doing, writing all about your dreams in the dream journal, is actually working. So that is a really good way to do it. So I hope that you guys enjoy that download. I put it in the description bar below. There's a little link. You just click it and it's a free download for you guys, because you're freaking awesome and you deserve a free download. So go grab that and feel free to use it for your dream journal. Okay, and then really quick before you guys go, I've been making these really cool pens for my Etsy store. Again, just like with the Hexenspiegels that I did before, which I'll put the link up here if you guys want to see how I make the Hexenspiegels. They take so long to make. These pens take a while. I did a time lapse so that you can kind of see how I do it from beginning to end, but without having to sit with me and watch me do it for an hour. I'm going to show you that, and I'll talk you through it, and I'll be right back. So basically I'm using polymer clay. I'm blessing everything and enchanting it as I go. I form the clay over the pen and add the crystal to the end. And then I have a press mold that I've created. This one is a Bridget's cross, and I've used the press mold to add that. Then I'm blessing the coils and coiled clay, that is, and wrapping it around the pen. As you can see there, I've also set some stones in it, and then I wrap the coil around it, and bless it every step. There is what it looks like before it goes into the oven to cure. And then it comes out, and I'm using some paint, 3 different paints there. As you can see, I mixed those to create kind of a antique looking finish for it. And then I use the tissue to wipe away from the surface so the paint is sticking in the crevices and leaves that space darker, and the white clay is kind of pops on top of that. And I just continue on down the line until I'm really happy with how it looks. And there it is. And then I bless it again and kind of touch up a few little details. As you can see, you can change the insert, and there's what it looks like finished. There it is. So I hope you enjoyed that. I need to figure out a way to have it be fast, but not quite so fast. But I'm shooting on my iPhone, so I'm doing the best I can. Thanks a lot for coming by and joining me and talking about dream journals. I hope that you guys decide to do dream journals too. And if you do, and you decide to decorate the front of your little 3-ring notebook to put it in, post it on Instagram and tag me. I'm just at Mickey Mueller on Instagram. Super easy. And the links, again, down below. I'm going to be coming to you guys next week with a video about how to turn the humble little birthday candle into a magical powerhouse. It's a special technique for using birthday candle magic. So definitely hit the subscribe button because you're going to want to come back and check this one out. Okay? So thanks again for coming by. There's a couple videos right here. Definitely check out, and I hope you guys subscribe. I will be coming back again next week to see you guys again. So thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, remember to be your magic